Right, so I got my window sunshades. I installed the right side already, and this is the left side. When I ordered it, one of them was broken, so I had to exchange it. And this one's fine. When it broke, this piece came in broken, and that holds it in place so that it retracts. So I'm going to install it and see if I can do a video, because there's really no video out there. I'll do the video for the left side, but I won't do it for the right side. You're just going to have to mirror it. I've already done the right side, so it's going to be easy. It took me 20 minutes to do the right side last time. So, but I'm doing a video, so it might take a little longer. So essentially there's 3 little prongs here that you have to pry, and there are some prongs around the door, and you just gotta pry. It helps that you have a pry tool, and the 2 tools that I'm gonna use is this pry tool that I have, and just a screwdriver. That's all you need. It does help to get like maybe a rag when you pry it, so that you don't damage it, to damage the trims, because they're just. Well, before you begin, I lied. I said you needed a Phillips, but you actually need a flat tip and a Phillip tip, just so that you can pry this part right here and this part right here that hold the screw together. So when you pry this, you can just take this right here, right there, and just kind of pry it gently. It's really hard, but you're gonna have to move the door handle a little bit, and it'll pop out really easily. And just put it off to the side. And then this one down here, you can pry it. Just make sure you don't damage your little piece. And then you can, that stays on, or you can remove it altogether, like that. And that screw right there you need to remove, and then that screw right here too. Right there. So pry this out. You'll see that there's a little piece right there that you just pop open. It's really easy. But the one down there, there's 3 of them. The one down there is a lot harder, and you really gotta try to pull. It does help when you have this pry tool to kind of wedge it in there and pry it out, so that you're not flexing this panel. It's not gonna break, but it's just precautionary that you don't damage the trim. So this is definitely just you can do this with one person. You can do it with 2 people. It's pretty easy. So I can't really hold and pry at the same time, but this is an example. You just kind of wedge your pry tool right next to that pink one, and then you just pry it up and pull. Here's the piece. So there's a little 3 prongs that you pry out. And you just put that off to the side. And the easiest way to pry this door panel is starting right here, because there's a little gap in there. You can't really see it, but you can get your fingers in there and your pry tool, and then you're gonna work your way down around the bottom, and then once you get to the top, it gets really easy to pull out. Okay, so I have the screws out right there. I pried this, and I pried most of it from the top all the way to the bottom. So this, you're just gonna it sits on top right here, and that's what's holding it up. And you're just gonna kind of lift it up gently. And when you lift it up gently, I can't do it with one hand, but when you lift it up gently, you're going to go ahead and disconnect some. This is what it looks like when it's removed. You have your electronics that you need to unattach right there. It's super easy. You just pinch and remove. And then these are the locks. You're just gonna pull them out, and they easily come off. Okay? And it's really easy to put it back on as well. I'll do that in a bit. And then same over here, your speakers, you just pinch and pinch and detach. You have this, the lock, the speaker, and the electronics removed. You can go ahead and close this. And over here, this is what the panel looks like when it's. There are screws here, there, another one there, and another one there that you need to remove. And once you remove that, it's really easy to put it back on. So I forgot to mention there's another screw over in the corner as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws all together. Once you got all the screws out, there's these little plastic right here that keeps this piece on, and you just gotta push and pull until you get the whole thing off. And it's really easy. You're not gonna break anything. I'm trying to do this in one hand, so just like that. That's what it looks like. And here's this piece. And this piece, you pretty much don't need it anymore. You can throw it away. I don't know what to do with it. It's really easy to put on. So it pretty much just lays and fits like a puzzle. Then you're gonna put the screws back there, and pretty much the same spots. All screws should be screwed on the same spots. I don't know if you can put on the right one on the left or the left on the right, but I know that I'm working on the left side, so it's your part's gonna have an LH, and the other side is gonna have I think RH. So I'll screw these on and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So I've got all the screws on there. You do not need to tighten them very tight, just as long as you your thing is not jiggling or moving. Make sure you hand tighten them to where you can't forcefully tighten them again anymore. Otherwise you're gonna strip your the plastic, and it's just gonna strip, and you don't want that to happen. To make sure that yours is working, when you install it, this little tab, make sure it's pointing outwards, inwards, not outwards, inwards. And when you pull it, it retracts nice and easy, and there's nothing getting caught. If yours is having issues retracting, you either have to probably take this off right here and kind of wind it until you get to the specific tightness you want, and it should retract fine. Or you might have a defective piece and you might need to order a new one. So I'm going to put it back on. I had an issue, a boneheaded issue, where this one right here, the one with the yellow, it was either pulled in or whatever, and I shut the door and I couldn't open it because this is part of the lock. So I had to reach over here from the driver and then pull it, and that allowed me to lock and open the door. So I think this is the most difficult part, is trying to hang it back on here. I don't have anyone to help me, so I can't hold the camera and hang it. And this is when you pretty much retrace your steps and put these back to where it needs to go. So I've connected it together and connect it back together, and there's really no wrong way to do it. That one's the speaker, and this one's for the electronics, the lights, and this screws the locks. So yeah, you just reverse it, and you put the ball in first, and then you latch this back just like that, where it's in place. And once you're done, that's pretty much it. Your door should work. There's no mechanical issues that you need to do. It's just plug and play. Now we're just going to hang it back up here, and then you kind of just push everything back. So this is the most difficult part that I think. because hanging it and aligning it is it's really hard. Well, I wouldn't say it's too hard, but it's a little complicated. So it's hung in there now. It's just kind of sitting on top, and I haven't screwed anything. It's still loose, but once you have it hanging, it should fit pretty nice and snug in there. And from here, just test it out. Make sure it still works. Make sure you push this down and it's aligned. If you don't have it aligned correctly, you will know. It's just not gonna fit. And then from here on, just retrace your steps. The little pieces that you need to push, you're gonna kind of have to feel where it is. And you're gonna have to push them back where they fit. And just go around, you'll hear them click. And we'll put on the screws and we should be done. And the top two in. So this is what I'm right here. See these? Make sure you have these little rubber things back on. These little, you can't really see it, but you might have seen it earlier. But once you have one aligned, you can pretty much tug on it and line it back. Align it and then start just kind of pushing it. See if I can get it. There's a couple, there's one more down there, there's one more down there, and then just all around. I initially pried the door off, or the panel off. This stuck onto the door. If that happens, you just pull it and pry it off, but it should look like this. It should be one of these, and it should align with the hole. The hole should not be covered. If it's covered, that means one of these things came off while you were pulling it off. So it's super easy. You just slide it back on there, and it should realign. Alright, so I have the panel on there. Every time you snap it into place, you'll feel it snap in, and you'll hear a big click, and that means you did it right. If you're not aligning correctly, that means this part right here is still settling higher than it should be. And so here's the side view where that should be, and that one's aligned, and here's how it should look right there, and that one's aligned. And then you still need to put these on and put that on these screws. But before you do that, I would suggest to turn on your car and roll up your windows, roll it down to make sure everything's not getting caught and everything is all good. Put these screws back. I put the 2 screws right there. They're the same screws, so you're not going to mess it up if you put the wrong screw on one. So what I like to do is, I have these in my pocket, so I'll put the 2 screws there, and then I'll screw this one first. When you're screwing these, make sure you don't over tighten them. Just once it's done, it won't tighten anymore, and you really don't need to be forceful on it. Just leave it alone. Don't over tighten and strip it. And you'll just put this back on here. And then this one, you're going to place it exactly the same place. I find it easy if I have 2 hands and just open your door. And it'll kind of align itself and then just click into place. You can test your door, make sure it works. It should work. So I'll lock it. It's locked. You unlock it. It should open just fine. Super easy. It's a really easy project. So all you have left now is just put this back on, this panel. And you can drop this down. And you just realign it back up. I feel like from starting from the bottom and working your way up is the easiest. And you'll hear a little click. click, click, and it should be on there, and it should be good. And then you can see it goes up and down. The videos I've seen to know that you did it right is this line right here. It runs right along with the line on your shades. If that line is on this side of the door, you probably did it wrong, and you might need to take it apart. And also this tab, if it's facing the passenger, should be able to pull it up and down, and you should be good. So yeah, that's it. It's pretty easy. Let me know if you guys have any issues or problems, but that's pretty much it. It took me longer than it should have because I was doing a video. Otherwise it probably would take me like maybe 15 minutes. Once you get one side done, it's pretty easy. You kind of just gotta remember what you did. And yeah, hopefully the video helps and encourages other people to do their own shades. There's a lot of websites that will give you these OEM original shades for a discount. I didn't order them on Subaru.com or a dealership. I just went on this one of the sites, and I actually got them for $107 each side, and I also got the third row on here for $250 shipped for all 4 windows. Well, alright. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this helped. Bye.